Guys, we're down to the final two. We're down to the final two. Stat. We're down to the final two. It's going close to the very end of the football season, but most importantly the EFL season. And, well, like I said, we are down to the final two games. And I'm going to preview the first one, of the Mariners' final two games, the final away trip of the season as we head towards, as we like to call them, franchise FC, MK Dons, for a really big game in truth in the Mariners season. So I'm going to give you all the facts that I can leading in to Saturday's game, and I'll give you a little bit about what David Artell said in his pre-match press conference, and so on, and including the facts and figures all surrounding the game. By the way, guys, what have you thought about this season, really, as we head into the final two games? Honestly, what do you guys feel about this season? I'll give my thoughts at the end of the season, but I want to know some of you people, especially maybe some that are abroad and some that, don't get to every game, might be listening on the radio or might be watching the games from afar. What have you thought about the season in general? It's been a very good season so far. Hopefully the Mariners can end it well. Hopefully get a playoff spot. Not saying we'll get up, but if we can get a playoff spot, that'll top off a very, very nice season, won't it? So let's crack on with the match preview. As we know, it is at the Stadium MK at 3 o'clock on Saturday. MK Dons lie in 18th place. Grimsby lie in the final playoff place. MK Dons have 50 points. Grimsby have 67 points. Obviously, it's a matchup against two former teammates, as David Artell comes up against his former teammate Paul Warren, who has just taken over a week or so ago at the MK Dons. So we'll have to see what to expect from Paul Warren's MK Dons, differently to others. So they lie in 18th, we lie 7th. 61 goals scored for the Mariners, 52 goals scored for MK Dons, and 66 goals conceded each. 338 shots for MK Dons, 364 shots for the Mariners. Shots on target, 169 of those for MK Dons, 179 of those for the Mariners. Shots off target, 169 for MK Dons off target, 185 off target for the Mariners. Looked at the block shots overall over the season, 141 block shots for the Mariners and 129 only for MK Dons. Now the passing accuracy is quite, it's more for the MK Dons. It's 81.14% pass accuracy to the Mariners 68.38. Points gained from losing positions for MK Dons is 12 and for the Mariners is 12. Points dropped from winning positions. I think this is a little bit wrong, I actually think. It says 12. I actually think it's more 15. Obviously, with the last two away games, at least, where we've dropped points. They're saying 12. Points dropped for MK Dons 21. I do think that stat was only dropping from winning positions. Yes. that will have probably been about 14 now, I would say. 14 to 16 points with the Harrogate and obviously the Port Vale result, which I'm trying to forget about how well we did and so on and so forth. If we look at the recent run of results for MK Dons, they've had 3 straight defeats. They were against Notts County, 3-0, a 3-0 defeat to Barrow, as well as a 1-0 defeat to Gillingham, and then Paul Warren stepped in and got a 0-0 draw at home to Newport. And last time out, Milton Keynes got a 1-0 win against Crewe Alexandra, which is pretty much knocked Crewe out of any real contention for a playoff place. The Mariners, on the other hand, have been a bit mixed with their form in recent times. Losing obviously to Crewe, 2-0, then losing at home to Swindon. Well, not just losing at home to Swindon, being battered at home to Swindon, 4-0. We did have a win in that time, a 3-1 win at home to Morecambe, and 2 draws in that time, a 2-2 draw away at Harrogate and a 2-2 draw away at Port Vale. If you look at them in individual scorelines, they're both away from home, you'll both take a point. But in both those 2 away games, the Mariners were 2-0 up and dropped 4 points or so, where they probably should have picked up 6. So a little bit disappointing there, but it does show you that the Mariners have got a bit of quality there. If we look at the previous meetings between ourselves and the MK Dons, in the last 11 games, it's drew 2, won 4 for the Mariners, and 5 wins for the MK Dons in all competitions. In the last 3 matches between the 2 sides, it's ended up a 1-0 win on March of 2024 for Grimsby Town, a 3-1 win back in October for MK Dons at Blundell Park, and it's another milestone in a sense for David Artell, because this was Artell's first match in charge of the Mariners on November the 28th in Milton Keynes, a 1-1 draw there. And Rakeel Pike got the goal that day for MK Dons. For Grimsby, not MK Dons. If we look at a few match facts, and then I'll go on to the team news, things like that. After winning the reverse fixture 3-1 in October, MK Dons will be looking to claim just a second ever Football League double over Grimsby Town, following the 07-08 campaign. That I believe was also the same season. Actually, I think they did the treble over us that year, because they also beat us in the Johnston Paint Trophy final that season. So that was under Alan Buckley, of course, the third time round for Bookers. Grimsby Town have lost just 1 of their prior 4 away Football League games against MK Dons, winning 1 and drawing 2, with each of their last 2 visits finishing 1-1. It is, I will admit, a difficult place to go, but both times, like I said, that we've said there, that we've actually visited MK Dons, we've at least come away with a point. I think we need, we do need 3 this coming match. MK Dons have lost 4 of their last 6 home league games, winning 1 and drawing the other, failing to score in 4 of those matches. Obviously, most of that damage was done before Paul Warne came in. So whether you can read too much into that now Paul is there, I do not know. Grimsby Town have only lost one of their last 8 away league games, winning 4 and drawing 3, with each of the last 2 such matches finishing 2-2. Obviously, there is another former Grimsby link, and that is of course Danilo Orsi, who is now at the MK Dons. He'll probably be looking to get one over his side. He did that at Crawley. We're just hoping he doesn't do it this time around. They're all the stats, facts, figures that I have for you heading into this game. The team news coming in, there's no fresh injury worries for David Artell's side. Jordan Davis is getting closer. Don't believe he'll be involved, or he might be a little bit involved, I'm not sure. He may be involved, he may not be. Donovan Wilson is getting closer, but not there yet, as is Cam Gardner. They're starting to get on the grass, but I think it's David Artell probably said. I think Jordan Davis is the one that's got the best chance before the end of the season to be involved. I do believe, Igazatori not involved in the Easter Monday game. That was just apparently a fitness thing. That was just taking his care. They're not injured. It's just something that looks like it was just by choice. It looked like we're coming in with a fairly strong idea. I think we've got a good idea as to what Artell will play on Saturday. I think it's pretty strong as to what he will do. I don't think there'll be really many surprises in the first 11 sort of team selection. So I think, Artell also said in his pre-match with Matt Dean on Humberside, he did say that, you don't get many chances like this. They don't come around always very often. So this is a massive, massive game against MK Dons. This is a game that definitely will not seal a playoff place, but it will make going to the last day against Wimbledon very, very, very interesting if we can get the win over MK Dons. So I'm about to give you my prediction now. And it's hard because the last two results we've actually been 2-0 up in away, so it's very, very hard to tell. We need to keep the back door closed, to be completely honest, if we're gonna come away with the 3 points. As Jake Eastwood has said in his interviews, and David Artell has emphasised in most of his club and local media interviews, it's in our hands as to what happens. If we win and Colchester lose or Salford lose, we will actually be in the playoffs if that happens. If not, I've got a feeling it's going to go to the last day against Wimbledon. I've said that for the last few weeks. But I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be positive. Although Paul Warne, is giving them a bit of a bounce now. MK Dons. I'm going to be positive. I think we're going to have to score 3. I really do at the minute to win a game by the looks of it. I'm going to go for the Mariners to do that. I'm going to go for a 3-1 away win for Grimsby Town. And the goal scorers, let's see, what can we do? I'm going to say Evan Corey will get a goal. I think Danny Rose, you've always got to put him in as a goal scoring possibility. And I'm going to say Svan Thorsen to get the third. And Danilo Olsi, I think, probably will score against us tomorrow. So I think he'll be the MK Dons goal scorer. Hopefully that happens, because it would be interesting, going into the final game against Wimbledon with something massive on it would be absolutely phenomenal. It is. I am going to quickly, during this preview, give you a rundown of the two teams really that are in it with us. Really, we obviously we go to MK Dons. Salford host Colchester. That is probably the game of the weekend. People are going to say it'll be Doncaster Bradford and Wimbledon Port Vale, but I'm going to say that for neutral case will probably be the game of the, especially the chasing pack. So somebody is going to drop points in that. So we need to try and make sure that we do not, because somebody will drop. That's what I mean by I think it will go to the last day, but with which team I don't know. So I think it is so important though, and I keep saying this during previews, reviews, and any video that I post on Grimsby, it's about doing our job. We have to do our job. If we do that, we go into the final game with something to play for. I think we're going to be having something to play for anyway. But I think it's going to be big. So let me know down below what you think the score is going to be. What you think of the season. And can the Mariners make... Well, not can they, because of course, again, will they make the playoffs? Not can they make the playoffs, will they make the playoffs in these last two games of the season? Obviously, unfortunately, I will not be at the MK Stadium on Saturday. Unfortunately, I have a engagement that I have to attend, so I will not be there, but I will hopefully be getting updates throughout the game, or even look after the game, and hopefully the Mariners have done the job and got the 3 points that we need. We need to win at least one of these last two, and possibly draw the other. So I think we need 4 points out of these last two to get in there. So we'll see. Let me know down below what your score prediction is. If you are heading towards Milton Keynes tomorrow, safe journey up there, Mariners fans. And hopefully you bring back 3 points to Cleethorpes to make it shall we say, a strong Saturday. So leave your comments down below, all that good stuff. Any questions for me as well, leave them for me, and I will. I won't be doing a review this week due to the fact that I will not be seeing enough of the game to really make one. I may do a brief one. Look out. It won't be a full review. If I do, it will not be a full review. Obviously, I won't be seeing the game, so I might give on and give my overall thoughts of the result, but it'll be a quick video, so look out for that. I will do something, but it won't be a full review that I do, because it just won't be fair, really, as I won't really have seen the game. So I'll give you a little review on Sunday afternoon, it will be. So hit that bell button and subscribe and all that good stuff. 2 games left, guys, and it's now or never, which is the right answer, I think. So do with that bell button, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And good luck to all the fans that are travelling up to MK Dons. Come on, boys. Let's try and get our final away trip, and let's try and get our 21st win of the season, shall we? And really make the final day against Wimbledon quite interesting. In the meantime, guys, up the Mariners. I will see you for a little review on Sunday. It won't be big, like I've said, but I will do something. I'll give you something, in my opinion. And in other words, guys, up the Mariners. In other words, yay. In other words, guys, up the Mariners, and I will see you in the next one. And what a weekend this could be. Up the Mariners, and I'll see everybody. I will see everybody not only with the little review, but I'll also see people, obviously, for the big preview against Wimbledon. And I'll see most of you guys down at the park next Saturday when we finish the league campaign against Wimbledon. In the meantime, guys, up the Mariners. And there we go. Guys, as I mentioned, it's the final two. I'll see you soon. Let's see what we can do. Up the Mariners. Well, hey. Come on, we've got to get the win. Come on, come on, come on.